It's 2026, and you know what that means. It's time to talk about music from 25 years ago that nobody gives a flying F about. And who better to do it than someone who doesn't give an F. Hello, Top and Bottom Talk. This is Listening Party Edition. We're going to talk about the year 2001. Ah, yes. Bones were strong. Joints were nubile? How do you say that? Nubile? If I just keep saying it like that. Nubile? How do you say nubile? I keep saying it that way. Nubile. Damn it. I was right. I was also wrong. Anyway. Hopefully that's the last thing I Google, but I don't think it is. All right. And maybe that's the last time I clear my throat. This is a late night edition for a listening party. It's 9:04 p.m. on a school night. That means we are going to rocket. Nope. We're either going to rifle or rocket. I'm going to say rocket through these things. So, the format is my favorite 15 albums, because I don't want to say the best, even though it usually is the case. Top 15, followed by shout-outs, followed by a few categories, because who's listening all the way to the categories? There's so many things to talk about. All right. This is a very good year, though. This one was tough. I think 2000 was my toughest. This one I had a lot of things where, just looking back at it, even looking at it now, I'm like, that was 2001? I either thought it was older or newer. Anywho, let's quit effing around and get down to it. All right, so number 15 is Super Furry Animals. The album is Rings Around the World. This is my favorite of theirs. The next favorite would be the MWNG, which is the album in their native language, which is, drumroll, oh no, brain isn't as sharp as it should be at 9 p.m. Oh, the yawns are starting. This is going to be a classic. Welsh is what I was looking for. Welsh. Things you don't care about for 300. All right, so I adore this band. I don't want to say they make consistent albums, but they kind of switch it up a lot. They are very fun. This whole album is awesome. It does have one song that you would not expect. I think it's called A Touch Sensitive. And it's just the ultimate beat. It's just, if you want to feel cool, pull it up to the school or wherever. Maybe the pool. It is so badass. It's just boom, boom, chugga, chugga, boom, boom. It's not that, but it's not even like that. But anyway. All right. Adore this album. Favorite songs. It's Not the End of the World is very fun. Juxtaposed with You is so cool. This album is kind of all over the place. I did learn the meaning of the word juxtaposed from this song. So, English didn't teach me, but music did. Music is my ultimate teacher. That and nature. And I don't have a funny thing to say. Usually the third thing is the funny thing. All right, first is music, then nature, then nurture. All right, Presidential Suite is also very fun. Run, Christian, Run, Fragile Happiness. These guys are crooners, sort of. Juxtapose with you. And it's not all that far from what I'm singing. All right, it's enough time. Number 14, I have Bjork. And this one should be higher? I enjoy this one a lot. I'd probably switch this one around. Oh, okay. Time to nut up and nut out. Number 14 is Bjork. Album is Vespertine. This one came out, I feel like, this is after the yoga album, whatever it's called, which was just awesome. And this one was kind of a quieter, more reserved album. A little, like, nice electronics involved. Hidden Place was, I believe, the main single, which had a crazy video. But it's just a very pretty album. It's like, it just dabbles in the electronics, just swishes across the pond. And her voice, Bjork. Hey, look at this. This is an international list. She is from Iceland, and she is one of the best singers in the world. So, there. In honor of... You know what? We're not going to say that. It's too early to say that. All right. So far, the yawn per album is kicking in. Number 13, Whiskeytown. Pneumonia is the album. Whiskeytown, amazing name for a band. Pneumonia. This one, I believe, made my top 100. This list is nuts. What can I say about this? So Whiskeytown is Ryan Adams. It's sort of alternative country. This is definitely their best. It's less... I mean, it's still country, but it's more... I don't know. Like, I don't want to say soulful, but just... I don't know. I really don't know what it... We're going to say pop and country, but it's brilliant. It's so good. It's just like textbook, just what an album. I probably said all the same things on my top 100 list. Reasons to Lie is, I mean, it's just makes you... Oh, man. If I drank beer and was depressed, I would love this album. Where's the song I wanted to talk about? Hey, look who didn't write it in there. Damn it, because somebody stole it from him, and it annoys me. Anyway, something about blue. When the hearts... Oh, something... Oh, is this good television? Hold on, Ryan... No, not Ryan. Whiskeytown. Pneumonia. Something When the Stars Go Blue. That's what it is. That's... I didn't write that one down? Maybe that's not this. Okay. Brook, you are not crushing it. That's why I didn't write it down, because it's not on this album. Okay. Jacksonville Skyline's beautiful. Sit and Listen to the Rain. Kind of self-explanatory. Under Your Breath. Paper Moon is like easy breezy. Easy Hearts has a little bit of, I don't want to say recklessness, but just an amazing... If you like country music, this is going to scratch that itch. If you just like good old-fashioned... I don't want to call it pop. Pop has such a bad taste, leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But anyway, just a classic album. Next, we have Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Album is No More Shall We Part, and I love that song. This is a kind of a... I don't want to say it's slept on, but I will say it because I already said it. As I Sat Sadly by Her Side is great. Hallelujah is great. 15 Feet of Pure White Snow builds and builds and builds and then kind of explodes, and I hope that doesn't sound weird. God Is in the House, Oh My Lord, very religious album. This album is, outside of the newer ones, probably my favorite Nick Cave. I really enjoyed he had I think 3 in a row that I loved. So, this one is an ultimate classic. This whole year is nuts. All right. Why would I pick 9 p.m. to do a year that I love? This is I was in my heyday. Also, they were making looking back at just the top 15 and all the other things, it's like, wow, music was crushing it back then. Number 11, we've got the White Stripes and the album White Blood Cells. This was easily their breakout album. I got to see them live on tour in old Tallahassee for this one. They were awesome. Dead Leaves and Dirty Ground, I believe, was the first single, but it didn't crush. The one that crushed was Fell in Love with a Girl. And then Hotel Yorba was really fun. I'm Finding It Harder to Be a Gentleman. The whole thing is just great. We're Going to Be Friends is a fun little walk in the park song. But this one was, and maybe this is the White Stripes in general, but it's they have their heavy stuff. They've got some just cute little ditties, and then some stuff in the middle. But classic album, I'm going to say their best. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to mean it. All right, number 10, our artist is Unwound. The album is Leaves Turn Inside You. This is a double album, and Unwound is a band that I definitely was late to get into. I got into them when this album came out because it had amazing reviews, and for good reason, because it's an amazing album. Except the first song is great, but like the first 2 minutes are just like this droning noise. Anyway, but Unwound was this kind of like hardcore punk band, and then this is you'll find me repeating this occasionally, where like a band was like this one thing. I think Flaming Lips did this, and Swans, where they just made this harsh music, and then they kind of had their pop masterpiece, and then kind of calmed down after that. So Unwound, I don't know if they made another album after this. Leaves Turn Inside You is also just very poetic. This is a lot of fun. Demons Sing Love Songs was probably the biggest song. I don't think it made too many charts, but I love that album. Kind of love the band. This album, though, is just great. Next, this one is really hard to place, and some of this is, I don't know. So anyway, the artist is called Destroyer. It's mainly one guy, and the name of his the musician or whatever the artist is very misleading. The album is called Streethawk, A Seduction, and he is a quirky little fellow. Very good lyrics. His albums are all kind of have a different feel, but they're all cohesive as, individual albums. His one after this, I think, is called This Night. He's got one where it's, I can't quite remember, but it's, it's about like a time in history. I just can't think of it. But very interesting lyrics. The one that always stands out to me, and I think I remember telling this to my dad, and he's like, well, that's not true, which is nobody's ever hung from the rafters of their second home, which I think is just such a cool lyric to say. Streethawk, also very cool sounding. I was sort of late to get into this one because I didn't really listen to them until This Night came out, and I don't know what year that was, but this one, probably my favorite of theirs. Just kind of a singer-songwriter thing, and it looks nothing, I shouldn't say look, like if you were to look at the artist's name and then the album, you're just like, this does not sound like singer-songwriter stuff. All right, number 8, we have The Strokes, and the album is This It? This album was a rocket ship. I feel like it just kind of carried the indie world there for a little while. From New York, the big song was Last Night, but pretty much, I've said this before, every song was just kind of a single, and maybe not like an MTV single, but kind of felt like every song was a single. There's a song called New York City Cops as well that I think is on like the Australia version, but this album is kind of perfect head to toe, and if you haven't heard it, I would recommend it. All right, number 7, I have Fugazi. The album is The Argument. This is another one that's just kind of a flawless album. It's got a couple like parts where it gets sort of quiet, but overall the album is just flawless. This is Fugazi. They had a long layoff, I believe, probably 7 years or something, and then this one came out, and it was kind of a perfect album. People are like, oh, the old lads still got it. So Fugazi, I think it's Ian MacKaye. He was formerly of Minor Threat. He's kind of like one of the founding fathers of hardcore punk. This one is more of I'm going to call it a grown-up sound. Just more, it's not like, Minor Threat and Fugazi kind of felt like they were just pumping out songs, and they were all great classic songs, but this is just more, how do I want to describe it? It's just more like fleshed out. And the arrangements, I shouldn't say God, listen to me, the arrangements. It's just really well done. And that's all I have to say about that. All right, number 6, the artist is The New Year. The album is Newness Ends. I love this band so much. It kills me that I don't think I've ever met anyone that's even heard of them. One day, maybe. Perhaps one day. One day. It is appropriate, since this is the new year and we're in the new year, that we talk about the new year. It's 2 brothers, Matt and Bubba Cadane, and I have said this so many times. The sound that their guitars make, it is not like I mean, they're very skilled musicians, but there's something about the sound of their guitars that I eat up like Reese's peanut butter cups. I could just keep listening. And the voices too, just like very soothing. This one gets upbeat in a couple places, but like it's basically a dumb song called Gasoline, and I love it. It's like, gasoline, I love the way you smell, gasoline. It's so dumb, but then they also have some like super hard-hitting lyrics. I want to say Great Expectations has really hard-hitting lyrics. Alter Ego, let me just look up the lyrics. Alter Ego, the New Year lyrics. I'm going to say there's hard-hitting. Let's see. Of the acceptable reactions to tragedy, gardening, the priesthood, and insanity, look what you've chosen, just to be disingenuous to the letter. Oof. Oof. I can't force you to fail or force you to shut up. I don't want you to fail. I want you to show up, but you're making a choice to which it's hard not to stick. Good Lord. Man, oh man, so good. These guys are just like the most underrated band ever. Okay. Next up, we have number 5. How am I doing on time? Oh, we're 17 minutes. It's kind of long. All right. Number 5, The Microphones. The album is Glow Part 2. This, in theory, would be higher, but they've got a few songs that are just... It sounds like this. And I just don't need it. But the ones that are actual songs, love. I Want Wind to Blow is, the title of one of my Instagram posts. The Glow Part 2, I know I've talked about this before in maybe my top 100, but like I think I played this album when I mowed the lawn once. And I'm just going to leave that there and listen to the top 100 if you want to learn more. The Moon is every song. I Felt Your Shape is one of my favorite songs of all time. You'll Be in the Air. I used to say that just out loud all the time. You'll be in the air. He has a very innocent voice. I love his voice. This is a very, like, all his records, God, I sound like a hipster. All his records, they just sound very personal. You always feel like you're just kind of peeking inside this guy's life, and he's really just created, like, he has a lot of consistencies from albums, so he'll have, like, talks a lot about so much nature in his music. He has songs where it's like, what is it on here? Oh, The Glow Part 2, so he has The Glow Part 1 on a different album. He probably has The Glow Part 3 on a different one. He has The Moon in different versions on different albums. He's just a very, I don't want it to sound like he's not, he sounds like he's cheating a little bit. But no, he's just lots of nature. He then turned into the band Mount Erie, which I think is still mainly him. And they had an album, because the Microphones had an album called Mount Erie, and then Mount Erie became the name of the new band. He's just a very interesting guy. I'd love to meet him one day. All right, I can't think of his name. Number 4, Wilco, and the album is Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. And this album is absolutely perfect. This is coming off their other album, Summer Teeth, which was, critics went nuts. It was like top, 25 album of all time, let's just say. Or top album of the 90s or whatever. It was just an amazing album. And then they kind of went into their Radiohead bag and they just kind of made more complicated music. They started adding this one has a lot of like frequencies, which makes sense with the album title. Radio Cure. It's got, the lyrics, which song is it? I Am Trying to Break Your Heart is great. Poor Places and Reservations. Reservations has, I think, one of my favorite lyrics. It's like so sweet. I've got reservations about so many things, but not about you. I can't remember which song it is, but it's kind of famous. I shouldn't say, God, it's not. It's all relative, I guess. But anyway, in the indie circles, it was famous for, he said, something as I assassin down the avenue. It was like, nobody had really used the word assassin as a verb before. Anywho, number 3, crazy that this is number 3, but Radiohead album is Amnesiac. Radiohead, my favorite band. Oh, by the way, I've seen Wilco live. White Stripes, that's it, I guess, and Radiohead. This one was kind of like the B-sides or the second half of their Kid A album, which came out the year before, and this one stands out on its own. Pyramid Song is a beautiful song. You and Whose Army is one of my favorite songs of theirs. It's kind of just creepy. Like Spinning Plates. It's just got all kinds of... Packed Like Sardines in a Crushed Tin Can is great. This is a fun one to go back to because it's... I don't know, it still sounds fresh. Not that the others don't, but there's just something about this one. It always feels like it's like you're discovering it. Number 2, we've got My Morning Jacket. The album is At Dawn. These first 2 My Morning Jacket albums, I remember being stunned at how many songs I absolutely loved. Also, there's that thing that people talk about where they're like, hey, I think they've changed how, they went back and retroactively changed things. It's like, SpongeBob was wearing a green tie, not an orange tie, and you're like, I remember him wearing an orange tie. So anyway, this track, it's called Death Is My Sleazy Pay, and I swear the song was called Death Is the Easy Way, and it's just not, so I don't really know what to do with that. This has a ton of epic songs. The first track, At Dawn, title track, another Instagram title of one of my photos, but or caption. But At Dawn is easily one of my favorite songs of all time. It has the little, what is it? Something about don't let your dreams get caught between the pillow and the bed frame or something. I'm really butchering that one. But basically, don't give up, man. Keep doing your thing. And, maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't, but you gotta try. Great inspirational song. I absolutely love it. I Needed It Most, If It Smashes Down. These are all just amazing, amazing songs. And then number 1 is kind of a weird number 1 because this year is so great, but it's every little song on here is just like watermelon on a hot day for me. So the artist is Hayden. He's a Canadian guy. And the album is Skyscraper National Park. And I just absolutely adore the song. It takes me to a certain time of year, just a certain time in life when just things were, things are fun now, but it was you just didn't know it was around the corner, and it was I just want to go hiking, and I was in college at the time, so it was just I just want to go to Canada and drive around and hike, and this would have been the soundtrack. I did not do those things. Although I did go hiking later. Anywho, bass song is really fun song to sing. I used to sing it in the shower all the time, which is not a good idea because the song's about him not hearing burglars break into his cabin and essentially murder him. because he's like playing, he's recording a song, and they break in and he can't hear them, and then all of a sudden he does hear people downstairs, and he grabs his bass guitar, and I think he tries to like swing it at them, misses, and then he just ends up dying in the song. Classic. All right. But Hayden is one where his voice, he's kind of what I said earlier about that other band, where like he started out just having this really gruff, almost like a Tom Waits gruff sounding voice, and then this one he just totally lightens it up, and it sounds so much nicer, and the music is so much better. Dynamite Walls has some pretty crazy guitars in it. He just totally like evolved as an artist, and it's to me it's easily his best album. After this, he still is very light, and like his voice is lighter, but it just seems less impactful. I don't know, they're more like fun songs after this, which is nothing wrong with that. All right. Shout outs. Let me see time wise. Fudge. All right, shout outs. I've got Jillian Welch, Time the Revelator. This is a very southern, like old southern style music. I used to like it a lot more. Now it's so slow, which isn't always bad, but I don't know, she doesn't do it for me as much anymore. Next, we've got Explosions in the Sky. Album is Those That Tell the Truth. I didn't write it all out, but I think it's Those That Tell the Truth Shall Live Forever. There might be more to it. Anyway, they did the soundtrack, I believe, for Friday Night Lights. They're a post-rock band. If you don't know what that is, Google it. And I really like them. They have, I think, one of their songs is on my workout mix. I do not recall which one. But it's essentially mostly instrumental, occasionally with some kind of like spoken word that goes on top. Good stuff. Next, we have Dintel, D-N-T-E-L. Album is Life is Full of Possibilities. I really like this album. I like it more now than I used to, because I'm older, I guess. But it's just a very chill album. I love to put it on. It's all over my work mix. And there's a song with the Death Cab frontman, something about Evan and Chan, but it's really good. All right, next up, this one's great as well. I like this one a lot more now. I thought this was an older album, so I'm kind of stunned. I guess I discovered it later. Artist is, I don't even know how to pronounce it. We're going to say Lali Puna, L-A-L-I, and then second word is Puna, P-U-N-A. Album is Scary World Theory, and it's great. It's very chill. If you need like work or just relaxing music, or even a dinner party, let's say, it's absolutely great. Next one is Aesop Rock, and the album is Labor Days. This is a hip-hop album. I do not listen to this as much, but back in the day, I was very much into the indie hip-hop scene, the backpack, what do they call it? Backpack hip-hop? I don't know. It's still very good. I just don't really listen to it as much. His voice I don't love, but he's a skilled storyteller. Next up, we've got Artist is Low. Album is Things We Lost in the Fire. This is a slowcore band. I'm going to say this is their best. It's also a great album title, and I do like saying, every now and then, like, must have lost it in the fire. I don't know that I still say that, but I used to. All right, next up, we got Artist is Jay-Z, album The Blueprint. I used to like this a lot more than I do now. I just don't like Jay-Z anymore. Sorry, guys. My friend Frankie loves him, but it's just not for me. Artist is Built to Spill. Album is Ancient Melodies of the Future. This is kind of them on the downswing of their careers. Solid album, but the three before this are all classics, and this one is just more of a like, it doesn't hurt their career, but it doesn't really help it much either. All right, next one up is Artist is Stars of the Lid. Album is Tired Sounds of Stars of the Lid. This one I've been listening to a lot. Pam and I are planning a trip, international And this is like my go-to for studying or fantasy drafts. It's just a really, really good album that you can listen to and think about other things. I'm a big fan of them. Next one is Rufus Wainwright. Album is Poses. I think this is album number 2. It's fine. I don't like it as much as the first, which I think is a self-titled album and is just... I loved it a lot more than... well, man, it's got character. The second one is just more reserved, which you would think I would like more now, but I don't know. I used to love him because he has a very kind of unique voice, almost like a musical. And now it's just, I don't want to call it annoying, but it just feels theatrical, and I'm kind of not into that. All right, next we've got Artist's Dismemberment Plan. Album is Change. I'm pretty sure I saw them live performing this album. They were a big, if you know what Pitchfork is, they were a Pitchfork darling. This one's fine. It's not bad. I just don't really listen to it all that much. I think I bought this album, which is kind of nuts. Next is Artist is Spiritualized. The album is Let It Come Down. This is when they really started living up to their spiritualized. They went through a real gospel religious phase. This is part of that. It's like gospel and rock music combined. It's very good. I really like this band. The one that's like an all-timer is Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating at Space. That one is by far the best album, but this one's fine too. Next up we've got Muse. Album is Origin of Symmetry. I feel like this band, and I've said this before, maybe my friend Greg who loves them, and I did get to see Muse, I think, at Coachella. I feel like their albums just kind of got worse as they went along. So this first album's the best. Second album is good, still really good, but not as good. Third album, this might be the third. And then it just kind of they got into this big space rock thing that I don't know. I think I'd have to listen to it again, but I believe they're still making music, which is crazy. But I do remember first hearing Muse on the radio, and I was like, oh my God, it scratched that Radiohead itch. All right, next up is Kala, and then the album is Scavengers. I do remember seeing this band live as well. I really like this band. It's kind of creepy music. Just the way he sings is very I can't think of the name of any songs, otherwise I would sing them. He's just a creepy. And I think he might be a creep as well, because I want to say I went to see them with a friend, and I think she said he was like, hey, do you want to go to the bathroom and hang out? And she's like, no, I don't. Anyway, next up we've got Cannibal Ox. Album is The Cold Vein. This one I used to bang a lot. This is a hip-hop album produced by LP. I did not see them live, but this one was for hipsters, this was it. And I really like it. It didn't make my top 15, but I do love the music. The production on it is fantastic. Next up, we've got System of a Down. Album is Toxicity. It's kind of over System of a Down after the one album. I think this has a fun song on it, but just not my thing. Next up, we have Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Album is BRMC. I did see them live as an adult. I really like this album. It's their best. To me, this is another one where it just kind of got worse as they went along. But it was very unique. I shouldn't say unique. It was unique at the time. It was like a throwback to Jesus and Mary Chain style music. They wear all black, and it's kind of awesome. But anywho, I do still like that album a ton. Next up, we've got Missy Elliott. Album is Miss E. I don't know what's on it, but I do respect her. She's got pizzazz. Next up, I've said that too many times. Artist is Pulp. Album is We Love Life. I think this is their last album. They'd kind of... This is Hardcore is the one that came before this, and I love that. This one is okay. It's got a few good songs, but ultimately it's just like, meh. Next, we have The Liars, and the album is They Threw Us in a Ditch, and I think there's more to that title, but this might be their first album. If so, it's got like a 30-minute song at the end that should not be 30 minutes, but it's very fun, and this is a band that kept surprising. Like, they've got an album called Drums Not Dead. They just kept getting, I think they're Australian, and I want to say the lead singer is really tall, but just kept getting more like experimental and changing their sound, and would not have expected it from the first album, which is great. It's kind of like punkish, but they just keep getting crazier. Next is the Tindersticks. Album is Can't Our Love. I love this song. Such a smooth jazz of an album. He has a fun way of singing where he's like, "It takes a long way to make and love can alone." I don't know how it would be live, but listening to it, on a CD is great. Next up, we've got Red House Painters. Album is Old Raymond. This one is not one of their best, so we'll just skip that, but I love the band. Next is Mark Lanigan, Field Songs. This is one where I'm like, this is 2001. It feels very much in the 90s, like mid-90s. Mark Lanigan, one of the best rock vocalists ever. This one delivers. Next, we have Mogwai. Album is Rock Action, and this is great. I remember my mom liking this. She's like, this isn't bad. Really, really good album. Tight. It's got like 8 or 9 songs on it. Next, we have Spoon. The album is Girls Can Tell. I was just listening to this today. This album is fantastic. Might even call it perfect. The only thing that I hold against Spoon is their music always sounds kind of shallow. It's always, like, it's very cool. He's very cool sounding. Britt Daniel, I think, is the lead singer. Cool name. But it doesn't feel like it's ever about anything, but they sound super cool. Next is Shins. The album is Oh Inverted World. This is from Garden State. This was definitely another one of those like indie darlings. Took over the indie world there for a little bit. Next is Lift to Experience. The album is Texas Jerusalem Crossroads. I used to adore this album. I still like it. It's a little rough around the edges, but kind of a crazy album cover as well. But I do enjoy it. It's probably unlike anything you'll hear. It's got like some post-rock to it. I don't even know. It's got all kinds of stuff going on. But interesting listen. Next, we have Silver Mount Zion. Holy fudge. How many times? Oh, so many. Born in Trouble. Another post-rock album. Stephen Malkmus, self-titled album. Debut. Lead singer, Pavement. This one's fine. It's okay. He's very silly. Next, this one I was shocked it didn't make my top 15. Sparkle Horse. Album is It's a Wonderful Life. I love this album. I don't like it as much as I used to. He unfortunately died, I think, of alcoholism. But I can't think of it. Mark Linkus, I think, is the lead singer's name. It's mostly him. This is their best album, and I do really enjoy it. Tom Waits is a guest on it. I think PJ Harvey maybe as well, ghost vocalist. But I really like him, like the band, like the album. I thought that would have been top 15. Next is Converge. Album is Jane Doe. This album will rip you like 2 new buttholes. Hardcore is probably their best album, at least their most well-known. I would say it's the one. I know I used to have it. It's just, I remember playing this. Anyone who's like, yeah, I like metal, I like heavy stuff, you say, okay, 1 second, listen to this. And then they're like, oh, well, I didn't know you meant this. These guys are unhinged. They would have been amazing to see live. I can't even imagine. They sound like wild animals. It's crazy. Great workout music. Next is Les Savivav. Album is Go Forth. I saw them live. Lots of fun. The album's fine. It's not like crazy good, but it's good. Next is New Order. Album is Get Ready. can't believe they're still making music, but that album, don't really remember much. Next, Ladytron, album is 604. I think this has the He Took Her to a Movie song, which I adore. Other than that, you know what, it's fine. I just don't listen to it a lot. Next, holy fudge. Artist is Smog, album is Rain on Lens. Smog's one of my favorite of all time. This is one of his weaker albums, just because it's very short, and but I like some of the songs, and it's got a great song that I won't get into the details, but it makes me laugh. Next, we have Elbow. Album is Asleep in the Back, and this is great. This is one of the bands that was kind of filled that little Radiohead gap, and they kept making good, interesting music. Would not have guessed it. They've had all the like look and feel of a band that's like, yeah, this is a flash in the pan, won't hear from them again. And then they just kept making good albums, so kudos to them. Next is Ash. Album is Free All Angels. I saw them live. I really like this band. They're so much fun. This is kind of a cheesy album. I do remember buying it at like Best Buy because like the cover art is just lame as hell. And honestly, the album's probably in parts kind of lame. It's like their idea of a rock star. But this band, they started out really young. They're like 16 or 17. But it's great. I still enjoy the album. All right, next up, Death Cab for Cutie. Album is The Photo Album. Cute name for an album. This one's good. I still like the first two the most, but it has some really good stuff. I think it's got a song about divorce or whatever that's just, oof, harsh. Next up is Gorillaz, the self-titled album. Really good. Listen to it a lot more then. I still like the Clint Eastwood song and probably a couple others from the album. Yeah, I think they might still be making music, and I just don't keep up. Next up, we've got Tomahawk. Album is self-titled. This is, can't think of his name, but the guy from Faith No More, one of his side projects, Mike Patton. Good stuff. Next up, Arab Strap. Album is The Red Thread. Good. It's good. I'm getting tired. Scottish band. Good. Next up, Beulah. Album is The Coast is Clear. And I really like this one. It's Michael Cera's favorite band at one point. Anyway, we've got more to go, so just less energy. Next is Reindeer Section, which is like a super group. And the album is Y'all Get Scared. I think it's got parts of like Mogwai and all these Scottish bands. Mogwai, I want to say Super Furry Animals might be in there. Arab Strap is probably in there. I don't know. There's a lot in there. All right. Next up, Daft Punk. Album is Discovery. I can't remember if this is the one I really like or the other one, but either way, it did not make my top 15. Good band. Cool. Next, Mark Kozlik, What's Next to the Moon. He's a singer-songwriter from, I think, Red House Painters. And this was, I want to say his AC/DC cover album. It's good stuff. Next, Ryan Adams. The album is Gold. Double album. It's good. It just wasn't as personal. But I think it had some, I would say, I don't know if I want to say great songs. It just felt a little like too, is manicured the word? Just too produced almost. It was just like, all right, we see what you're doing. Freaking A. Next, Album Leaf. Album is One Day I'll Be. Pleasant. Next is Hope Sandoval, My Music Crush. Album is Bavarian Fruit Bread. I love her. She can do no wrong. Next, REM. Album is Reveal. I don't think this is their last one, so this one still has some good stuff. But this is kind of the beginning of the end for them. Next, Angels of Light. I didn't even write down the album title. Who knows? But I do enjoy them. That's the guy from Swans, one of his side projects. Next, Ed Harcourt. Album is Here Be Monsters. I remember me and my friend Lindsay both being like, oh, I enjoy this band. And I do enjoy this album. It's very good. Next, Soundtrack of Our Lives, self-titled album. This was definitely a one-hit wonder or whatever, one-album wonder. It was good. Now it sounds a little too, like they're trying too hard. I don't know what that means, but it just sounds too calculated. It just feels too calculated, but it still delivers. Next is Tool. Album is Lateralis. I like two albums. I can't talk anymore. And they're I love those two. Undertow and whatever came out after that. I can't think of the name. But kind of everything after that, I'm just like, it's fine. Next, Pete Yorn, Music for the Morning After. This is another one that just feels too calculated. It's good. It's singer-songwriter. I just felt like I don't know, just feels a little phony. All right. Next, I think this might also be a double album. Drive-By Truckers. Album is Southern Rock Opera. It is good. Good stuff. Next, Mercury Rev. Album is All's Dream. This was kind of the album after the album, which you've probably heard me say a few times. Deserters songs came before this, and I love that. And this one it's okay. Next, Britney Spears' album is Britney. I don't know, she's badass. Holy fudge, 2 more to go. Charlatans UK, album is Wonderland. This one, oddly enough, kind of still sticks around. Again, it was after the one that I really like. And this is more of an electronic album, but it's good. And lastly, Slipknot. Album is Iowa. I'm sure I listened to it before. I couldn't tell you anything that's on it, but supposedly it's very good if you're into that kind of thing. All right, let's finish out. I've got Audible Pump Award. That's Fugazi. They're all over my workout mix. Freak Off Award. I put Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Definitely if you're like dating a goth or like a leather covered chick. And then Hope Sandoval because can I say I love her on the radio? Is this the radio? Best dinner music. I've got Lollipuna and Stars of the Lid. Dance Mofo Dance. I've got Missy Elliott, Daft Punk. Party Animals, Strokes. Definitely cocaine's being done there. Late Night, Early Morning. I've got Tender Sticks and Hayden. Absolutely. What the fudge was I thinking or guilty pleasure? I put System of a Down. Yeah, this was kind of me, like, I'm no longer being influenced by the radio. I'm just kind of listening to things that I like, and System of a Down was one that was kind of pushed on you, like, these guys are good. And it's not that they're not good, but it just, I don't know, it didn't do a lot for me. Grower Not a Shower, that's a new year, obviously, because maybe it's not obvious, but it's kind of there around, and then I finally, like, really dove into them, and once I did, I just never came up for air. All right, Forever in the Queue, I've got Andrew WK, I Get Wet. I still just cannot listen to that guy. He was sort of popular, and I just, no thanks. Most Likely to Get Pushed on Deaf Ears, that's the new year. Nobody's going to like it as much as me, but whatever. All right, and then top 5 singles I've got, or top 5 songs, I should say. I've got I Felt Your Shape by the Microphones, My Morning Jacket song At Dawn, You and Whose Army by Radiohead, Reservations by Wilco, and Streetcar by Hayden. I love all those songs. Top selling albums of that year. We had Pink, Misunderstood at 15 million. No thank you. Shakira, Laundry Service, 13 million. No thank you. Alicia Keys, Songs in a Minor, 12 million. Sure. She's kind of cute, too. Enrique Iglesias, Escape. I didn't bother to write down how many millions it sold. And then Nickelback, Silver Side Up, 9 million. Top 5 singles according to Billboard. We've got Lifehouse, Hanging by a Moment. Alicia Keys, Fallen. That is a good song. Janet Jackson, All For You. Don't even know what that is. Train, Drops of Jupiter. And then J-Lo, I'm Real. She is not real. That butt ain't real. He's Just Not Into You. These are things that I tried, man. I really tried, and I just can't get into any of these. So, Tortoise, Standards, I like one of the songs, like the first song. And then after that, I'm just like, Thinniz, album is Endless Summer. Good background noise, but that's about it. Prefuse 73, Vocal Studies and Uprock Narratives. This is like instrumental hip-hop, which is not bad per se. I really tried to like it. I think I bought this album, and ultimately I'm just like, I don't know. I like DJ Shadow, but no, there's just one of him. Next is The Faint, Dance Macabre. I still have one of these songs on my workout playlist. I remember listening to it. I was like, not bad. And then Aphex Twin, Drux. This one I probably do like. I really like him. I don't think I ever gave that album time of day. All right, that is it. I am exhausted. 2001. There you go. Bye-bye.